Welcome to lesson 82,
Order of operations with exponents. Now that we've explored all these different properties with exponents, we're ready to tie it into other expressions. So again, pay attention to how we accurately simplify terms with exponents, how we apply operations with exponents, and how we accurately apply order of operations to evaluate the expression. Let's solve this find the value when we evaluate for x and y. And we're going to use our order of operations. So 2 times 2 to the second power minus 3 times 2 times negative 3 minus 2 times negative 3 to the second power. So let's evaluate our exponents first. And this would be 2 times 4 minus, and we still have 3 times 2 times negative 3 minus 2, and negative 3 to the second power is 9. Okay, so we'll do our terms piece by piece just to chunk it out. 2 times 4 is just 8. And now we have negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6. Negative 6 times negative 3 is positive 18. So again, just so you can see, negative 3 times 2, this was negative 6. Negative 6 times negative 3 is 18. Like, I know some people probably would have wanted to do this. They would have left a negative sign and then 6 times this and would have been minus negative 18. And that still would have meant distributing to get to a positive 18. And the last part, negative 2 times 9 is negative 18. All right, now we can simplify this out. You could already see we have a 0 pair going. These two are going to cancel each other out, and we simplify this to 8. So our final answer is 8, which matches this choice over here, C. Hit pause and jot this down into your notes. Biggest takeaways is just chunk it piece by piece and make sure that we're paying attention to our positive and negative numbers while we're simplifying. Which expression represents this term in simplest form? Okay, so we have 2x to the third power times 8x to the fifth power all over 4x to the sixth power. All right, so let's deal with the top part where we have a lot of numbers being multiplied. We have 2 times x to the third times 8 times x to the fifth. If we were to reorder these, for example, putting the numbers next to each other, so we would have 2 times 8 times x to the third times x to the fifth. This is much easier for us to simplify. 2 times 8 would make 16. And x to the third times x to the fifth is just x to the eighth. Remember, we're just adding them together. Over 4 x to the sixth. So now you can just see we are just going to use our quotient rule to simplify. So I have 16 over 4 times x to the 8 over x to the 6. 16 over 4 is easy. 16 divided by 4 is just 4. And we're going to use our quotient rule. So we would have x, and we're going to do 8 minus 6, which will give us 2. So our final answer is 4x to the second power. Let's look to see which ones match this answer. And looking at the choices, definitely not the first two because they don't even have the 4 in front. So I can eliminate them immediately. And we have 4 to the x to the second and x to the ninth. Clearly we can see our answer here. So again, I'm trying to think, why would someone have x to the ninth? Where could they have possibly gotten 9? Any thoughts? Any thoughts, Math Marvels? Well, one thing that I thought about was, what if they multiplied these two together? And instead of, you see here where we have x to the third times x to the fifth, I could see a case where kids are adding these two together and saying this is x to the 15th power. But remember, if they're expanding out, so I have x times x times x times, and then I have to do 5 more of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 8 altogether. So I'm not multiplying them, I'm adding them. So if someone had done x to the 15th, and then they had x to the 6th, then they would have subtracted and gotten 8x to the 9th. So that is the error, and that is our distractor. So again, even though I find my answers, actually I'm going to leave that there so we can see what they would have done. Even though I find my answers, I find it really interesting to find the errors and then try to figure out how they can be used against me as a test taker, like where my careless errors can happen. So here's my error, and it was right here where they multiplied together instead of adding. So that was their error. All right, Math Marbles, that's it for today. Write this down in your notes and get some more practice in. Use your reference sheet and ask others for feedback to make sure that you can accurately get the correct answers. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care.